Hello, my name is Josh Galetta. My friends and family call me Bump, and I'm going to show you how I draw. So if you have some paper or canvas, get those out. Get whatever pen or pencil, marker, crayon, brush pen, paintbrush, whatever you like to use to make something. Get those as well, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So let's go. All right, as we draw today, one of the things that really helps me with my line work is knowing shapes. So for our next drawing that we're about to do, we're going to be using shapes like the circle, the oval, and the two triangles. So when I kind of have those shapes in my head, I kind of see that in the paper. And as I try to draw my lines for what we're going to draw, I think of these shapes and it helps me flow. So if you want to practice drawing some shapes just to kind of get loose, like a little exercise, that'll be very helpful. But we're about to go into our first drawing, so be ready. So let's draw a sand crane. A sand crane is a local bird here for us in Florida. And what I love about sand cranes is they have that really loud, noise they make. But also every time I see a sand crane, they have a baby. So we're gonna draw a mama sand crane and a baby sand crane. What y'all can't probably see right now is I've already done a little pencil sketch, just a loose to kind of help me stay guided on the drawing. But I just wanna make sure everything's front and centered. The other thing when you're drawing, if you're using pencil or pen, just watch where your fingers are, because if you go back over the line, you could smear and mess up everything. But we're having fun, so let's go. Let's remember our shapes. I'm gonna start with the mama first. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw her beak, which is a long, thin triangle, like we talked about her shapes earlier. And so we're gonna put her beak right like so. And they have a soft, oval, rounded head like so. And then if you know sand cranes, they have really long necks. So we're gonna give this just a soft turn. And then we're gonna do the bottom of the head, which is just the same as the top. And then we're just gonna bring another soft line, just kind of keep it equal with that one and bring it down. And then we're gonna do the body. And the body, if y'all remember our shapes, it's like an oval shape. So we're gonna get the legs in here, the tops of the legs, and we're gonna do the back of the bird, which is also the top of the wings. And sand cranes, they have these long flowing feathers off the back, which are part of their tail and part of their wings. And up here is where their wings are. They're just like a soft half circle. And if you want to add some little humps right here, they can kind of count as the feathers of the wings. And add a few extra little like smiles, but those can be parts of the flower, just a little detail. And then we're gonna do the leg. I'm gonna do the furthest away first, and it's a very just straight line. It doesn't have to be a perfect straight line. And then halfway down the straight line leg, they have their little knees. So just a little half circle right there where their knees would be. Just go almost all the way to the bottom, like that. And then we're gonna do the other leg as well. Just do a line down, little knee, do the other side of the leg, the other part of the knee, and just bring that line straight down like that. Don't forget to give them a nice eyeball. And since I said this is a mom, and this is something I like to do, I'm gonna give them some eyelashes. Just little soft eyelashes, little nostril on the beak, like so. And later on, you can color it in and do all different shapes. And if your legs are big enough, you can do the little lines for like the texture marks of our sand crane's long legs, like so. And they can be spaced out however you want them, but just if you ever notice, they have these little lines or crevices on the sides of their legs. And now we're gonna do the same thing, but just smaller for the baby bird, the baby sand crane. So a long triangle for the beak, half of an oval on top with the soft line work for the neck to the body. And then just draw the other side of the neck, keep it equal. And there we go, draw the body, and then the top of the body. Do some little humps right there for the tail and the wings. And another half circle, a few humps for the feathers again. I always draw the babies and the smaller ones with bigger eyes. That sometimes just kind of helps you let them stand out. That's the little baby bird and that's the big bird. And then as well, we're gonna do the legs again. I'm just gonna do one line. I'm gonna put a little dot for the knee and come down a little bit. And another one, since they're smaller, they have skinnier legs than their parents, and come down. Now, most sand cranes here in Florida are out in tall grass and fields and things like that. So this is a fun, easy thing to do, is just drawing grass blades or, just whatever wild plants are out there. So just do a bunch of tall lines, tall triangles. Every once in a while, just put a line in there for some thin texture. Just go all the way across, work your way all the way across to have the birds. This is also for their safety when they're out here. But it gets a little repetitive, so you can kind of like make some lines go different directions to show as if the wind's blowing while they're out there. But have fun. If you want to do something different, that's all up to you. You can have mountain water. You can have them out in a field of wildflowers. You can draw wildflowers. Since this is Florida, they can be out in a strawberry field or a farm field or something like that. But you just want to draw these lines, just go all the way across the bottom. Just kind of give it a nice little horizontal. They don't have to be perfect straight across. And again, like I said, these are just very thin little triangles and grass blades and wild plants, and you can have fun with it. And one thing that I love to draw, especially when I'm drawing outside stuff, is I love to draw clouds. And I draw clouds two different ways. But for this one, we're just going to do the big poofy Mario Brother clouds. So here we go. I'm just going to do some poofy clouds like that. And these are just lots of little half circles. And as you know, clouds are like snowflakes. There's no two alike. I always think of clouds as either pillows or cotton candy, or sometimes the sand on the beach as it's being washed by the waves. But we're going to just put a bunch of poofy clouds in here for the background of our sand crane here in Florida. I'll do some tiny ones for the background to kind of get a little depth to our picture, like so. And like some fields here in Florida, there's also some trees and bushes in the background. So if you're good with doing a bunch of little half circles, the little letter C, you can just do some like little tops of trees or tops of bushes. And since those are always growing all funny ways, you can make them all different shapes. You make them look like they're fingertips, or almost like a mountain range, or just like it's a bad hair day. But these are just all little half circles connected together, almost like you're drawing a fun little caterpillar or something like that. And there you go. This is our first drawing of a sand crane out here in the open. I'm going to work on it a little bit more and add some more clouds and other things like that. But have fun, make yours different, and just enjoy it. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just something fun to do.